So, phone literally started ringing straight away. Fuck's sake, who's this? So, one of the biggest hurdles people have, I think, when they're thinking about a side hustle is A, they're scared to talk about it to people. And B, they're scared to act on it because they're honestly scared that the idea sucks. And like, I get it too. Like half the ideas I've started with or run with, I've spent months thinking like, fuck, should I actually do this? This might be shit. This might fail. Everyone might laugh at me. Yeah, possibly. So there's a few key points that you can apply to pretty much any business idea to check its viability without having to work too hard on it. Because you don't want to spend months and thousands of dollars putting this idea in, you get it running, you tell all your friends, you have a giant launch party, you mortgage your house, and then next thing you know, no one wants to buy it, and you So the biggest thing, I think, with a side hustle is you need to be able to, or any hustle, or anything, is you need to be able to distill down the concept of the business in a single sentence to tell people. Kind of like an elevator pitch. So you need to be able to go up to someone, they're like, oh, what's your business? One sentence. So here's an example of a few previous businesses I've had that I can tell in a single sentence. My last business, TCA. What's TCA? We provide affordable construction estimating services for everyone. Done. It doesn't matter if you don't know what the fuck a construction estimator is, but what it does matter is that I can explain the concept clearly and quickly. What does MoneyCat do? It teaches people financial literacy and how to start a side hustle. Nice and simple. If your idea is like full of shit and you got all this stuff, you're like, I want to synergize outcomes to tell people to the blah, blah, blah. Damn, it's too complicated. What the f are you doing? You're confusing yourself and you're confusing other people. You need to be able to dial your concept down into a single distilled point and be able to communicate it easily. You need to be able to dial your concept down into a single distilled point and be able to communicate it easily. Another major point when you're thinking about starting a side hustle is you need to think, why am I going to do this? Like, what's my advantage? How am I going to succeed at this versus someone else? And the key to that is normally, are you passionate about it? And I know this sounds like one of those dumb, like motivational things people put in like, do you love it? Whatever. You will have like 3 to 6 months of no one buying your shit, you thinking the idea sucks, you feel like a weirdo explaining it. You need to be passionate enough about whatever you do to push through that initial resistance point. It's kind of like when you're like going to launch a boat or something. This is a fairly esoteric example. Anyway, launching a boat. So you got the boat on the boat ramp, you backed it in, everyone's fucking looking at you, they're like, look at this dickhead with his boat, what's he gonna do? He's got weird glasses on, he's gonna fuck it up. Anyway, you got the boat there. You gotta give it a big push for ages, and then it starts getting momentum and starts getting momentum, and then it starts moving fast on its own. Which, if you're not ready, the boat hits the water and just floats off, and then you gotta swim after it, which incidentally has happened several times. So, I guess my point with this is you need to be able to be passionate enough and know enough about it to be able to push through that initial phase of no response and no enthusiasm externally to get it there. Too many people give up way too early on stuff that's a great idea just because they get bored or they lose faith, things like that. And that's okay, like I've done it too. There's heaps of ideas I've started, especially years ago when I used to start more projects than I should have. And I've given up on them and they should have been winners just because I didn't have the passion and I couldn't be fucked going through the whole process. So the other thing with knowing that you're passionate about it is it means you probably have a technical expertise that's an advantage. So here's an example. Another one of my many side hustles is a jiu-jitsu gi and apparel business. So I am an extremely experienced, extremely average jiu-jitsu practitioner, which means I have a knowledge about what people want to wear, what the gear has to be like, where to get it, and the styles. I wouldn't, for instance, go and start selling soccer gear. One, because I'm not a loser, so I don't play soccer. But two, I don't know the styles, the trends, and the dynamics of the sport to be able to have a competitive advantage. I think I'm done.